Hello and welcome to PepperAmmy's Fermented Tomato Salsa. Now this is a really great salsa and it actually did blow me away when I actually made this. It is so good. For this we will need 4 medium tomatoes, 2 small onions, but instead of that I just used half of 1 large onion, 6 cloves of garlic, a teaspoon of dried oregano, the juice of 2 medium limes and a tablespoon of salt, and of course chilies to taste. But bear in mind, fermenting this salsa will actually reduce the heat of the chilies, but give you in general a bolder flavour from everything else. And then if you don't get enough juice from your limes, just a little bit of water to top your ferment up. To start, you will need to de-seed and dice the tomatoes and cut everything else into small chunks and add to a large mixing bowl. Mix well and then pour over the juice from the limes and add the salt. Now you can serve the salsa as it is, but I highly recommend fermenting it for around 2 days. Doing so will of course increase the flavour you get from it and just in general make it so much better. Now, to ferment it, we need to move it into a glass jar and cover it with the lime juice and water if needed. Now, we want to keep everything below the liquid line, so I've used a layer of onion on top to hold everything below and use one of my glass fermentation weights on top to push everything down. You'll need to remove as much air as possible. I'm using my pump vacuum jars to remove the air, and I said this a long time ago, but a review of these will come one day, I swear. Now we want to place the jar somewhere away from sunlight for up to 2 days. I use my fermentation cupboard, and you will see gas pockets appearing around the day 1, maybe 12 hours from when you've done this. This is completely fine, this just means the fermentation is working. After 2 days, I tried this salsa on some homemade tortillas and it was absolutely amazing. To the point where I actually came upstairs with some for Charlotte to try because I didn't actually expect it to be this good. But hands down, it beats all of the shop salsas I've had so far. Now I did turn some of the homemade flour tortillas into chips and they were actually really good because you can do so much with them. You can add your own flavors, you can make them sweet, you can make them spicy. I just used a little bit of my naga and lime salt and they were actually really nice, and I'm actually so impressed by them. I'm going to be doing part 2 of this video next week where I show you how to make the flour tortillas and then the flour tortilla chips from that as well. But that about sums up this week's video. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I really hope you decide to make this salsa because it is amazing. And also, just to add a little bit of extra how am I getting through this so far? I mean, obviously this is going to be in the end, but how am I getting through this without fucking up so far? My chair's squeaking there. I need to WD-40 my chair. Maybe I'll do that today. Where was I? Oh yeah.